So in this tutorial, it's going to be the first of a set of tutorials just going through creating some character motion. We're going to use a 2D character, as if this was a 2D character in a 3D space, so like a 2.5D game. And this is really just looking at not making character, but taking a sprite sheet, taking that into Unreal, and adding our character input and our player motion. So I'm going to start out in Unreal. I'm just going to create a new blank starting template. I'm not going to use starter content. I'm going to have this completely blank. So I've got my folder set up. I'm going to call this character movement tutorial, and I'm going to create. So let this do its thing. Okay, this is loaded. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new level. So file, new level. And just as a start, I'm going to use a basic one. So let's just do that. Let's click create. Let's do a save. And let's do a save current level as. In our content folder, I'm going to add a new folder. I'm going to call this maps. And in here, I'm just going to call this, just as testing ground, let's call it sandbox. And just save. Okay. So from here, what I'm going to do is set up a couple of folders. So again, in my content folder, let's right click, let's do another new folder. I'm going to call this blueprints. I'm going to create one and call this paper sprites. I'm going to create one called input. And at the moment, that's fine. We might need a textures one and a materials one later, maybe one for static meshes, but just so we've got the starting point completely organized. So from here, we need to bring in our paper sprites or our sprite sheets. So I've gone on Itch.io. So on Itch.io, there's lots of free assets. I'm just going to scroll down and just show you the one that I'm working with. Where has it gone? But there's lots of things you can use. It was quite near the top. Typically, can't find it. Let's just... It was like a night one. Oh, not that one. It was a night one. What I'll do is I'll post a link in the video. Nope, cannot find it now. But yeah, I'll do a post in the video, and then you can, if you want to work along, you can work along with exactly the same one. It's just not showing up now. Strange, but there's lots to choose from as well. You can just pick one that's more relevant for you. So let's go back to Unreal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my folder. So I've already downloaded this, so it's free night version 1. In here, there's two different color versions. I go into the color, and there's one with an outline and one with no outline. I'm going to use the one with no outline. We have GIFs and PNG. You will have an issue with GIFs, so I'm going to use PNGs and go into this. And on this, we have our different motions on there. So the one that I'm really interested in right now, or the couple, I'm going to get my idle. I'm going to drag that in and drag it into paper sprites. Bring my thing up again with control space. Let's go into my folder again. And there should be a run one. I can't find anything today. Slide, wall climb, hang. It's because it's over here. Run. There we go. let's drag this one in as well. We could drag maybe the junk one in a little bit, but I'll just concentrate on these two first. So let's just drag that in anyway. That's our jump. Okay. Let's just show that. So we have our sprite sheets. There we go. So one of the first things we want to do with these is I'm going to shift click to select all of them. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to Sprite Actions and I'm going to apply Paper 2D texture settings. This is going to make them work better within the viewport. You sometimes get some issues with these 2D sprites when you're working in Unreal. So change them over to Paper 3D sprites. It'll improve the quality and get rid of any issues that we may have. So let's go into the idle pose and we can see we've got these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different poses. What we want to do is actually separate those out so we can create a flipbook from these, and the flipbook is the animation. So the way we do this is I'm going to go in, and actually what I'm going to do as well is create new folders for these. So let's just have idle. Let's have jump. No, it doesn't. Let's just delete that a second. It's causing issues. Don't know why. I found it does this sometimes. So let's try that again. New folder. There we go. And let's do one for our run. And let's drag these into the right places. So idle, jump. Click on move here and our run. Let's go into the jump one first. I'm going to click on this, right click, and we're going to go to Sprite Actions again, and I'm going to extract the sprites. So let's click on this. So here we have, I can just right click on this. Oh, that's the jump. Let's try that again. Go into the idle one. Right click. Sprite Actions, extract sprites. Extract sprites. So I said before there are 10 of these. This is separating them out, but you sometimes get these as different sizes, and I want them all the same size. So if the character, this isn't bad with an idle pose, but we want a bit of manual control over this. So I'm going to go into this sprite extract mode. I'm going to click this to grid. And that just creates one long grid. And we want to split this grid up into as many sections as we've got sprites. So in this particular case, we have 10. So all I need to do to split this up is say this 1200, which is the total width. I'm going to divide that by 10. Click enter. And that has divided these up into equal slots. Okay. If a sprite sheet's done properly, done well, then this will just work. If a sprite sheet doesn't have kind of equal gaps between, this is a little more tricky to do. But that's done. We can just click on extract. That is going to bring up my sprites. There we go. Now I can select all of these. So click on the first, shift click on the end. We can right click, and now we can create flipbook. So let's call this FB for flipbook. I'm going to say night underscore idle. So if I double click on this, we have our sprite there. So we can change the frame rate on this. So I'm just going to slow this down a little bit. Let's set this at maybe 10 frames a second. Oops, not 100. Let's set this at 10. And that's just going to slow that down. We could speed it up as well. Just going to slow that down a little bit. Let's just click on our save and let's come out of that. What I will also do is I'll just, while I'm here, I might as well do the run. So let's go into the run one, click on this. So right click again. Sprite actions. Let's extract sprites. Again, there are 10 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can see these are different sizes. I want them all equal sizes. So let's go into our manual mode, our grid mode. Same thing, we're going to do 1200, do divided by 10, press enter, and that's going to split them up all into equal sizes. Let's click on extract. And there we have our sprites. So we can grab those, click on the first, click on the last, right click, and again, create flipbook. So let's call this one FB for flipbook underscore night underscore run. Okay. And if I double click on this, we have our run again. If I want to make this faster or slower, we can do that, depending on what you want. I'll just leave it at 15 for now. Okay. So again, just save that. Let's close that down. So we have all the things that we need to get going. We just need to start creating our blueprints next. So what I'll do is I'll finish this video here, and the next video we'll look at starting to create the initial blueprint for our character, and then we'll start adding the functionality.